Beautiful. Hello everybody, welcome to our stream. You should all know how it works by now. We have questions coming up on a nice little screen over there, and we'll answer them. We also have a whole host of other people in the room as well who are watching, ready for the Game Blast thing we're doing on 21st, isn't it? Yes, 21st, so we're not nervous at all. There's a whole host of people watching, honest. So hopefully you can hear us all right. Let us know if you can't. That's the first thing we normally ask, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through your tweets that you've sent in and get them answered, and then we'll start looking at the questions in the stream. So first one is by Apu the Camel, and he asks, will you ever be able to ride horses, and it's a brand new one, go skiing on RuneScape? So we've been watching the Winter Olympics.
Ooh.
Horses, I know there's some good stuff about that.
Okay, so at the moment, imagine you're walking around the game. Your walk animation and your ready anim when you stop walking, they're designed for a human standing on the ground with their legs on the floor. And if you chop a tree, the animation you perform has your legs on the floor and an axe in your hand going back and forth. And if you dig with a spade or something, then the animation assumes again that you're standing as a human with your feet on the floor. If we've got the possibility that you could be on a horse at any point, which will look very funny when you dig a hole in the ground while on a horse, we'd have to recreate every animation to build in the fact that you might be on a horse. So there'd have to be chopping a tree or chopping a tree while on a horse. There'd be digging a hole in the ground or digging a hole in the ground while on a horse. It adds up to quite a lot of other animations, or we just restrict you from doing anything while you're on a horse. Now the other thing about a horse is, apart from just looking nice while you're wandering around the game, it's also got to be able to go faster. One of the things they discovered when they were making RS3 and EOC and prototyping other things is that the rate at which RuneScape can load map is roughly the speed at which you can walk in a straight line across the world. And if you could go a lot faster, then you'd be hitting load boundaries all the time. So we found quite rapidly that it felt dreadful if you could do that. So I think we might have to rule out horses for the moment, or skiing, if they were going to make you go faster, or in fact have any use. Cosmetically, it'd be cool if you could be on a horse, but I think we're going to run into far too many technical problems to be able to do it anytime soon.
It sounds better. You're saying it's a bit quieter.
Sorry.
Turn it up if it needs to be a bit quieter, or it needs to be a bit louder. That's not a problem. Skiing. We didn't mention skiing.
Skiing.
Yeah,
that's a little more possible. We just give you great big fat boots and and change your animation to a kind of shush 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 thing. That skiing. Yeah, we could do skiing.
Skiing, yeah, confirmed. Sailing skill first, then skiing.
Might even restrict it to snowy areas, might not.
Grass skiing. Okay, next question, next question is by James HLF, one of our regular people who like to send things in. He would like to know if unfinished potions can show what type of unfinished potion they are.
I think I replied to him on Twitter and said, yeah, no reason why not. If we abbreviate the names a bit, we can get around the pixel limit on item lengths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just reduce it to a UNF potion, can't we?
Yep.
Sweet, job done. Okay, a person 2343 says, would it be possible to get? I want one of these.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is brilliant. I might have to chat with Phil though.
Okay.
Would it be possible to get a typing editor so that you don't have to delete lots of message text when you want to change something?
Ooh. I did write the original carrot thing, not orange pointy carrot thing. I mean the flashing vertical line that you can you click and that's where you're going to be typing next in your line of text. I wrote that using some commands we haven't got in the 07 engine, but the way things have been going, there's a reasonable chance we could get them. Take a bit of doing. I didn't get it right first time either. It didn't handle angle brackets very well, but yeah, that's possible.
There we go. I think that'd be a great idea.
Be useful for our commands as well.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, we'd like that.
Yes, there we go. That's suddenly jumped to the top of the list, I think. Okay, so Justin SFRSN says, Matt, how was your day? It's fine, thank you. I had to rebuild the streaming PC because it broke, so I had to take it all apart and put it back together. It's working again now, which is why we're doing this. But other than that, I've had a nice day. I've got nice days.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything exciting?
Not really.
No, anything exciting?
Got a nice cup of tea.
Yeah, there we go, job done. Okay, the Locks Us asks, is there any possibility we could get a Grandmaster quest at some point?
Yes.
That was Modreach saying yes in the background.
There we go. He's signed off the rest of the year for that. Big problem with the quest is a huge investment of time, aren't they, to get them done?
They do take a lot of time for time versus gameplay. It's not a good investment, but it'd be nice to do one. And if we were going to do one, it may as well be a biggie.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Maybe to get into Prifdinus or something.
Oh yes.
So Albinos asks, maybe some different worlds for other countries like Canadian, Swedish and Australian. Now, as far as I'm aware, we've got no plans for new worlds right now. I don't suppose you've heard anything differently, have we?
Nothing.
No. I think we've got enough worlds as things are. I mean, possibly in the future, maybe, but not at the moment. We're not planning on doing that.
It kind of depends where Jagex wants to put its servers, to be honest.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so what else we got? Skill specs. Can you tell us anything about the Clue Scroll secret project? I didn't know what he meant, so I thought I'd ask. I think he might have got his wires crossed.
Have we got one?
The secret project, we don't have. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with Clue Scrolls. Although I was working on a side project for Clue Scrolls. You probably saw my tweet the other day. Just search for a friend on YouTube, and it should all be clear. And that's not a phone going off in the background.
No, we wouldn't dream of doing that. That's so unprofessional as to leave your phone not on silent. Paul. Yeah, secret information, you think?
Well,
Find out next week.
I'm sure we've got some secrets, but not to do with RuneScape.
Yep.
Ash's got quite a few.
Yes.
Better they stay that way.
Let's move on quickly. OSRS Lie says it won't finish work until 5 o'clock, so you're not watching this. You can always watch it back, obviously, in the past broadcasts. Overloads usable in mini games from the new reward shop. For those who don't remember, we polled a reward shop for mini games. Unfortunately, everything we polled to go in, it failed, which is why the mini game shop isn't there. A bit of a blooper, that one. I suppose, overloads are possible, aren't they? We've spoken about it.
Well, we've got them in Nightmare Zone. We can write more of the same, or use the same ones. He tweeted me about that and pointed out that a 4-dose overload potion would see you nicely through a game of Castle Wars, which I was unsure whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. It would certainly change the state of Castle Wars.
So, talking about Castle Wars, I was asked a really interesting question in the stream last night, which I did. Shorter Castle Wars games, 5-10 minutes. And I thought, that's interesting. I don't know what you guys think about it. So
we don't like changing anything to do with Castle Wars without consulting the Castle Wars community first.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we could change all manner of aspects of Castle Wars if we thought that was something that people really wanted. One thing we've always wanted to do, not just here but in RS3, is make Castle Wars an instanced game, so that multiple games can take place on a world at the same time, so that if you turn up and find that a game's in progress, you're not stuck in the waiting room or forced to hop worlds. Now, of course, hopping worlds isn't the end of the world for you, but it still would be nicer if you could have a nice private game with yourself and your friends. Unfortunately, there's difficulties about that because of the amount of space it takes up physically. So we've never been able to do that. Even in 2012, 2013, they haven't been able to do that. But it would be nice.
Okay, what else we got? Robin Plays 07 says, what do you guys do to support small YouTubers and streamers like me? Well, I mean, we don't do anything directly right now. I know we're sort of looking at getting a couple of people in to start looking at the streaming stuff. Specifically, if you guys have got ideas and support you want, you let us know and we will see what we can do for you. I mean, I don't know what support you guys want, so you tell me and we'll see what we can sort out. That is the best thing for that. ZMFB on RS says, what can we do to increase minigame population? I'm thinking...
Done quite a lot.
Yes, I'm thinking we'd recently put in the teleports to the mini games, the chat channels you can find people to play mini games with. That went in 2 weeks ago now. Or was it 3 weeks ago?
3, I think.
Oh, blimey, time
We've even
flies.
done a round of feedback on it and added more.
Yes, yeah, that's true, actually. It's true. So we've done that to sort of help increase it. If you've got other ideas for increasing people going to mini games in the end, do let us know. We'll happily look at those.
I mean, the reward shop will add more incentives to go to it as and when we've got things you'd really like to see in the reward shop.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Zone was asking for unlimited membership for streamers. Good luck with that. What else we got? Smudge the Pro is asking, what are your favourite ideas for the 90+ Slayer monster?
Anything but lizard men. Modreach isn't on the sofa, so he can't argue against it.
I like lizard men.
Lizard men. I don't know what I would want. I want something undead and big and scary. That's me.
Well,
that's what.
we were going through the archive of models, and we found, apart from the lizard men, which apparently we're not allowed to use because someone don't like how they look, we also found that there's the God Wars underwater area, which has never been used for anything because you can't get to it. Originally, the idea was that when you jumped into the lake to get to the Zamorak encampment, you'd go to an underwater area, you'd need your diving helmet and stuff, and there'd be all fish down there and stuff. Now, this wasn't released, and to be honest, I think it'd be an insane thing to put in the way between you and the Zamorak encampment. But adding that area, or an area using those graphics, there's some stuff that we could try putting in there, like we found a model for an anglerfish. It looks awesome. Look like really grim anglerfish. Bit like the thing in Finding Nemo. And only older. And we could dig up something like that, or we could use some of the other models that we've got lying around. The question is, well, if you've got any requests, we'd be happy to run with them just as much.
Absolutely. Right, last question that came through Twitter was from EES Marco. He says, would it be possible to have it so when a player attacks a green dragon in the wilderness, they get a skull?
It would be possible.
Idea being, I'm assuming that bots attack dragons, get the skull, you then kill them a bit easier than that. Everyone else seems to be leaving, which is good, so we're now back to just us four again, which is pleasant. Yes. Now, the problem with that is with the new anti-bot software that we're testing at the moment, it may well be that's a pretty moot point because there'll be real players out there and we don't obviously want to give them a skull unnecessarily. But let's wait to see how that all works out first. And I'm out of questions, so seen anything coming through the stream you want to answer?
Any news on white dragons? From a question from You Jelly's son. We've not been on that for the moment. We've got new Slayer monsters to deliver. I think it would be strange if they were the level 90 plus monster, if given the sequence of dragons. The other thing we'd be more inclined to do is take the sequence of metal dragons up from Mithril to Adamant and Rune, and maybe have the dragon somewhere at the end. But yeah, it would be cool to have the white dragon or frost dragon maybe. People always thought frosties were great. We just haven't really been there lately. We've done a lot of Slayer stuff instead, and also the wilderness.
That's cool. Someone asked about the Kraken.
I think it was about the boss.
Yeah, the boss Kraken, I think. not the little Krakens.
Well, on the subject of the Kraken, a long time ago, I think it was back in July, Captain McGee wrote a pretty long blog post somewhere out on the internet about the possibility for a team-based Kraken hunt boss encounter, where you'd go on a ship with Murphy as a team, and you'd be attacked by the Kraken and have to fight off its tentacles on the surface, and then as it ran away you'd pursue it with your diving kits into the water and have to battle it again down there before it can get into its portal. And having destroyed its portal, you then kill it and get a selection of new items. One of the items that was suggested sounded just very similar to the Trident of the Seas that we've eventually got. In fact, the concerns people raised there about it being overpowered in PvP, we've kind of addressed with the Tridents of the Seas, so I'm glad we've got that covered. I did love that idea. I like multi-stage boss fights, and I like boss fights really, and that would be a properly epic way of doing a Kraken. Reusing the graphics for it would be a challenge, of course. We've got tentacle models. We can nick them from the temple trekking minigame, and we've got a Kraken's head model, which in fact we've now used quite heavily for the Cave Kraken Slayer monster. It would be cool to have a great big boss Kraken like that, and I did like the gameplay that's described for it. For the Slayer cave under the stronghold, where we've got the Cave Krakens in their little rows on the in the first level, we'd envisaged going to a deeper level below it and having a bigger expanse with a big Kraken in there. I'm not sure whether that could be turned into the multi-stage boss fight or not, but we do like the idea, and if you've got any more concrete things that could be updated in the light of Cave Krakens and things we've done in the last 6 months, we'd be quite keen to go down that route.
Yeah, we had somebody asking about the logout timer, saying it wasn't in the dev blog, why did you put it in the poll? Which is a very relevant question now. I'm going to see if I can get this right now. From memory, it was something which was going to be changing the game engine, which would have affected both games, both RS3 and Old School. Before it was put through, we asked Mod Philip to see if he could actually make it so it only went in RS3. but obviously we would still have the ability to do it if we wanted to, and then we'd poll you the question. Now, did we get that update late after the dev blog went out?
We're talking about the log out 30-second wait, yeah?
Yeah.
The answer is yeah. RS3, he was doing the work for that around the time that we were putting together ideas for the next blog, and it wasn't sure which way it would go, whether they'd get it, whether they wouldn't get it. So I think, yeah, we simply wrote that blog before we knew it was going to be available for us as an option that we could get rid of again. Hopefully it won't, be too unclear for people to understand what the question means.
Yeah,
So you're getting a fair question on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we will have Philip implement what the according to the poll outcome.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, a few people have raised a few issues with rune bots or rune mining specifically. With the bot technology coming out, the bots aren't going to profit from this particularly. And I don't think any players will particularly either, because if I remember anything from rune mining, you go out there, you mine the rune, you wait forever trying to avoid whatever PK turns up to try and kill you. Hop a few worlds and you eventually find one which hasn't been mined, so I don't think it's going to help speed you up that much in getting one. But we shall wait and see. Just wait for the answer to come out, and we'll take it from there.
RuneScape 07 stream is asking if you can buy Mod Ash's shirt. I think he's using it at the minute, but we are trying to get some more old school related stuff into the store.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in the store at the moment, and we'll get some old school stuff in there when it's the right time. Certainly.
Question
Josh
from-
is staring into skill spec's soul like a hawk. Sorry, that's gross.
Question from T_IM asking if we could poll a damage bonus for wearing Castle Wars armour, presumably in Castle Wars that would be.
Hopefully,
Well, I don't have a big problem with that, although anything we do to Castle Wars, we'd want to really get in touch with the Castle Wars community and make sure that's something they'd appreciate, as well as it sounding like something we could technically do. But yeah, we've got technology to make that happen.
That's cool. I'll try to find more questions there. Can you guys see anything?
Well, I see the perennial one about resting, the perennial one about bank tabs, and the perennial one about money pouches, and we haven't talked about them lately.
Oh no, money pouches. Haven't we?
Yeah.
Talk.
Okay, money pouches. Now, firstly, I'm pretty confident that if we did it, we could avoid some of the money duping bugs that other RuneScape had when they got the money pouch, because we know what mistakes could have been made there that we know how to avoid now. So I'm not so worried about that. However, to do it, we would nevertheless have to edit every piece of code in the whole game, and there is over 1 million lines. Every single line that deals with coins, and that's a lot of custom places which we need to edit, and we would need to get it right. Because even if we can avoid the big duping bugs, we still have to do quite a lot of fiddly work. It's not impossible, but it would be that, or quite a lot of other things that we could have done in the same amount of time. Also, the money pouch. It's not a very old school thing. To me, it doesn't feel like it would fit in old school at all. It's not my view that counts in the end. It's what you guys want to vote for that goes in the game. But I'd be surprised if that one would get 75%. I really would.
I was reading on there. I don't think it will. Yeah.
Yeah, I see you agree with me. Thank you.
There is a bug with the barrage animation.
send it in as a bug report. You can find the form on a sticky in the old school general forum.
Called Report Bugs Here.
Yeah, I thought we'd make it quite straightforward. Yeah. There we
So,
go.
somebody wants the pouch. I think you're on your own, mate.
Yeah, the only person. GE, shall we answer GE?
Do we have
You do it. Oh, you haven't done it before.
Okay. No.
There you go.
No, we would like to give you a better system to find trades with, but without removing the complete interaction with players part of it. And we're open to suggestions on how it could be done. We do have a bit of engine time available to us now, so any suggestions, just send them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
In particular, there's people who want to just get away from having to stand in Varrock spamming in a crowded area, and would like some system that would help them find a trade partner, even if they then have to go and meet that person in game to do the trade. There's people who'd like to be able to put up some items and come back 2 days later and find that their trade's completed while they weren't around, and there's people who feel that would be very bad for the economy. We'd like to get a better sense of how people feel with some numbers behind it, rather than just going by the few vocal voices we get to see on the streams on the forums. So we'd like to approach it via perhaps a survey, asking, do you like this kind of solution, do you like that kind of solution? See if we can maybe come up with something that would help you get away from the spamming in Varrock, but not necessarily be the GE that so many of you guys don't want to see.
Yeah. No, I mean, we could do practically anything we want to make it work. So it's really, your imagination is the limit of what we can do. But we want to make the system that's right for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a bit further than the limit, really.
Well, for every player who says no GE, there's other players saying we want the GE, we need the GE, and do it exactly like it was in 2007.
Absolutely.
We'd like to get some numbers behind that and maybe find a middle ground that will avoid the concerns people legitimately have, but maybe help with some of the problems that people also legitimately have.
Absolutely. Cool. I think we're going to go over to Mod Reach now. He's going to show you some stuff about the wilderness, and him and Ash have been working on. So fingers crossed. We're about to appear magically on his screen.
You do? I don't think we're using.
Oh man, stuck under the floor.
One goes with some wires, then one is round the chair, gets stood up. Definitely move that over to the mic.
Yeah, mute the mic before I start swearing.
Okay, so now everybody's got back from their deafening experience. This that's Matt shouting. Sorry. We're going to show you a sneak peek at what Ash and I and John have done so far with the Wilderness Rejuvenation project that you voted on not long ago, and we are going to offer you in one giant update as opposed to many updates like we did with Slayer. So naturally we're going to start with, well, not naturally, but we're going to start with where I am at the moment, which is the Wilderness Volcano at level 53 Wilderness. Now, obviously we gave you the option of having 2 new shields that would be forged in the volcano from pieces that were dropped from, was it demi-bosses or normal bosses?
Demi-bosses.
Demi-bosses. Now we have all 3 shield pieces of each shield here. They're called the Odium Shards and the Malediction Shards. Obviously you have to obtain all 3 shards of a particular shield, and then you would simply forge it in the volcano. You get a smaller animation, and then you end up with the final finished shield. Now the shield shards are obviously tradable, so are the shields, so obviously if you have 2 pieces and you want the next piece, you could just go ahead and buy it. They're called the Malediction Ward and the Odium Ward. They're basically just recoloured versions of the Tazar shield that a player called RSN Eero suggested we go ahead and do. Accustomed to this, obviously, being this what it is, there's a few hidden things in here that people will probably no doubt find on the first day.
Not hidden at all.
No, they're not really hidden at all, but people can find out. At the same time, these are the 2 shields. I think their stats that you see here are final. John is the one that balanced them. I believe these are the right stats. Obviously one's a range shield, one's a mage shield. It doesn't take a genius to figure out which one's which. For those that are struggling, the green one is range. At the same time, we've introduced some new resources. These would be tree ents. They would also be new food, and that would also be chinchomper spots. These chinchompers, as well as rune rocks. These chinchompers would be stackable in your inventory, and when you die, you would drop the stack. So that means anybody who was PKing would obviously get all the chinchompers from the person that killed. The advantage to hunting in this spot would be that you have an extra hunting trap, meaning you can catch 6 if you have 5, or you can catch 5 if you only have access to 4 traps. So basically you have access to 1 extra trap than you would do at your current level. The advantage to Ents, which are in-game and I've finished right now, which I'm trying to find. I can't remember exactly where I put them. I think they're somewhere around here. Oh, they're over here. Here are the Ents. This is a model you might recognise, you also might not. Let's just kill it quickly. It's rather aggressive. The advantage to these Ents are when you would cut them, you actually get noted logs in your inventory. The amount of logs you get, on what logs you get, depends on obviously your woodcutting level and what axe you're using. So at the moment I am 80 woodcutting. I also have a dragon axe, so I'd expect to get quite a lot of magic logs. So let's see what happens. Obviously I've got a U log. this is actually still a work in progress right now, so there might be a slight delay in it. I've got 2 magic logs, and obviously this goes on until the log, or the main log, disappears. These Ents are spread out in 2 areas. I believe Matt posted the original picture of the map where these would be posted in the dev blog, but I think we might post up another one later to refresh people's memory of where these things actually are. So this is just the Ents. There's a few further down here, I know that's for sure. There's another Ent, there's another one down here, and there's some more congregated somewhere else. I think a few people have noticed these are the summoning models, and they are. When I went digging through the archive to see how much of summoning actually still existed, we found out quite a lot of the models are actually finished. A lot of them do have graphical errors that can't be fixed, but I figure since we're doing Ents, we might as well reintroduce an old favourite, which is the summoning familiar. Note that does not mean summoning is confirmed. We also have the Fountains of Rune. We'll have a look at those quickly. I think Ash knows where these are, but I'm going to jump up here quickly.
52,60.
52,60. Right. This is the water. There's some Fountains of Rune around here somewhere. Ash knows for sure. This is the first time for me. The red spot. Here we go. Actually, we're one over here. So over here, wherever here is, there is a Fountain of Rune, which throws runes at you. That looks pretty awesome, actually. I hadn't seen this yet. Not entirely sure how. Do I collect these?
You don't. You simply find, if you look at your magic spellbook, that you can cast whatever
Ah,
spells
I
you
see. That's pretty awesome. Okay, well, this is the Fountain of Rune. This is the first time me seeing it as it's for anybody else, and I really like that. That's really nice.
Thank you.
Awesome. What is the display text? Magic and energy accumulated under the wilderness for aeons gushes forth. That looks pretty awesome.
I may have cribbed the water obelisk slightly and added a few sparklies of my own.
Yeah, there's a few comments coming up, but yeah. One other thing you voted on was also some wilderness bosses. Now, we haven't finished these. I've actually only just started, and I did tweet a picture of something I did intend to use, but then found out I couldn't. Yay. So that to much as Matt's delight, because Matt actually hated what I offered him. But,
I liked it.
It didn't look like a bear.
I can't remember the coordinates on, so I'm going to have to go find it instead.
Lost
Actually,
there.
I think it's around here somewhere, actually.
It's a big bear place.
It's down here somewhere, I know it is.
Bear
Actually, it might be here. There it is. This is the bear model, which is currently clipping. As like I said, it's still a work in progress. This is the bear model, or the big wandering, roaming bear boss that will be available soon. It's called Callisto, as suggested by a player, actually. The obviously examining text is rather appropriate for considering how many Ents we've just put in game. But this is the new bear boss, which I'm currently working on. It's static at the moment to stop it from wandering around and breaking everything, but I can attack it and it will attack me back. This is one of the 3 bosses. Obviously, we still have a spider boss to come. We also still have a skeletal warlord to come. We're trying to find a model which is suitable for that. But as of yet, I haven't found one. I might actually try and make one again. But this is the bear boss at the moment. It doesn't actually drop anything interesting. We also have the Wilderness God Wars dungeon, which
47,58,
58,
0,35.
Ash is very good with these. Here we go. So this is the God Wars dungeon, which is inside the wilderness. Something again you voted on. This is the first time I've seen this as well. So let's go for a little. I don't know if it's that way, but
That's an agility shortcut. Takes level 60 to get through.
well, let's
And
go
here's a
this way.
strength one.
Okay, we'll go this way. There's a boulder here, which we moved out of the way, and then we're running through. Go for this little crest.
Don't die horribly.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is God Wars, isn't it? Oh, I got nothing to attack me this time. There you go, nothing will attack me now. Right, so this is God Wars. Well, not God Wars, but the God Wars dungeon in the wilderness. Okay, this just looks like a standard, well, God Wars dungeon, just in the wilderness. This is still in the wilderness area, so players down here can kill you. Obviously, the Spiritual Mage will drop the exact same dragon boots that the other Spiritual Mages in the normal God Wars dungeon would do, which makes it a pretty handy Slayer cave, to be honest, because we have all sorts of things in here. We have the Blood Veils, we have werewolves, we even have orcs. So, obviously, this is the God Wars dungeon. Is this finished, or is this...
Pretty much. There's a couple of special features to it. Firstly, Aviences in this dungeon will drop their adamantite bars in banknote form, rather than in unnoted form like they do in the main God Wars dungeon. While we were massively afraid of, well, people farming the adamant bars in the main God Wars dungeon, this one being the wilderness shouldn't have quite the same vulnerabilities that the original one had. The other thing we've done in response to some players' suggestion on the forums is allow the creatures in this dungeon to drop a key. It's an untradeable item, not a very common drop, and it gives you access to the boss room of your choice without needing a kill count, but it only works once. So if you come here and get the key, then you can in future, if you need to get back into a boss room as an emergency, maybe you can keep the key in your bank for that occasion. The key is dropped by any monster in here, I think, including the imp. There is an imp somewhere, but yeah, it's not tradable. So if you don't want to use it, you'll be able to alch it. We've called it the ecumenical key for the moment. You can give yourself an ecumenical _key.
You're going to have to tell me how you spell ecumenical.
That would be an ecumenical question. ECU.
ECU.
MEN.
MEN.
ICAL.
ICAL.
_key.
I've never heard of that word before.
Much Father Ted.
Ecumenical key.
Well, yeah. It's a kind of icy key that opens any boss room door in the God Wars dungeon, which is why it's ecumenical. It's not affiliated to any particular religion. And there you go.
There you go. That's the God Wars dungeon. So as Ash pointed out, there's a few things that need doing, but that is the God Wars dungeon. One other thing you voted on was, let me just get out of here actually, because I can't remember the coordinate. I should probably just start remembering these. You wanted a new food. Now these were the wilderness crabs, and they required a special bait that was dropped by zombies inside ruins in the God Wars, not God Wars dungeon, in the wilderness. So we're going to try and find these zombies very quickly. I know they're near here because I kept running into this place in the map editor at one point. I might actually be completely lost, in which case this might be slightly embarrassing, but we'll figure it out. But here we go. They're over here. In fact, they're not over here. They're over here. They're not over here. Okay. I'm completely lost.
That way, that's it.
Yeah, let's go this way. It helps if I turn the map
South a bit.
around. South a bit, is it?
Don't know, I'm just sending random
Okay, so
directions.
I'm getting lost now because Matty is pointing me in the completely wrong direction. It's over here, and
See, I
it's
told you.
slightly up from here. Here you go. Right, this is the right place. These are the normal zombies. When killing these zombies, I have replaced their normal fishing bait drop with special dark fishing bait. That dark fishing bait is the fishing bait you use to fish in the wilderness and get the new food. The new food hails you 22. It gives you 130 XP when you fish it. And John, can you remember how much cooking XP it gives?
212-ish.
212-ish, we think. I don't think I've actually plugged in the numbers for the cooking yet, so I can't actually test it to find out. There you go, some dark fishing bait. It drops it in.
Fishing is like 130.
Fishing's 130. It gives you either a drop of 9 or 7, so now we've got our 7. Let's quickly hop to the fishing spot and fish away. This would be how much? Here you go, we've got the fishing spot. Right, so you need a lobster pot for these. You also need the fishing bait. Then you find the fishing spot, cage, and you fish away. I've called them dark crabs, so we'll also give ourselves a tinderbox and a log so we can give them. There we go, and there we go. We are fishing some raw dark crabs. Let's move away. Let's just cook some very quickly. I might burn them. This might be slightly embarrassing. Let's cook all. Oh, there you go, cook them. And these heal 22. There's the new food. Easy as that. Yeah. Also, what you'll notice, I think the final thing we've done so far, is in the top left-hand corner, you'll notice a kill-death ratio. Now, this updates in real time, so if I was to get another kill, so death, so let's change it from 17 to perhaps 90, I go -9. This will allow people who are PKing and who care about their kills to obviously keep track of how many kills they're getting, how many deaths they're getting, as well as the ratio between it. Now, people obviously have commented on how are we going to protect this from being boosted and abused. There are numerous things we are doing to stop that, such as you can only get kill-death ratio points if you are above a certain wilderness level. I believe at the moment it's 10. So obviously if you're PKing anything less than 10, you're not going to get a kill marked up, you're not going to get a death marked up, so your KD is going nowhere. So for those people who want to boost, you're being forced to enter deeper levels of the wilderness. We can also make it only go up or down if you are skulled, but this isn't an ideal solution. There are numerous other things we're putting in there, and we're going to monitor it to make sure there aren't people going out of their way to abuse it. We can also reset it on people should they go a bit nuts. What I've also done is, in the absence of not having our high scores, I've put a board in Edgeville, which, when clicked, gives you the rundown of all players nearby, and obviously there's no players nearby because I'm the only one on this test server, but if there was 50 players nearby, this would display all 50 players, kills, deaths, and their ratio. So you can see if anybody's nearby is rather dangerous and you want to avoid them in the wilderness, or if you just want to show off your kills, you can stand around and have people see the 15,000 kills you have. Such as... That's a ridiculous number. So yeah, obviously people can see that I have 1666.6 KD. There are some concerns about this option being toggleable. So at the moment I'm not in the wilderness, so you're not seeing it. So if I enter the wilderness again, you will see it. Let's just quickly hop into the wilderness. There's a ditch, which unfortunately is still there. There's the kill-death ratio, so when I leave the wilderness, it leaves. If people want that on a toggle, please do let us know, and I will put it on a toggle, because obviously some people are some people are concerned with it being stuck on their screen at all times and not wanting to see it. I can happily put it on a toggle for you, but that's the kill-death ratio. And I believe that's everything we've done so far for the wilderness. Obviously, this is a very big project, so instead of us giving it to you like we did with Slayer in multiple batches, so you're left out with things, we're looking to give it to you all in one go. Being a very big project, we aren't... well, obviously there's only 2 of us working on it, and we also have 1 QA. So times are tough. So we're getting through as much as we can, as fast as we can, making sure everything is as good as possible. I've just seen someone mentioned lava dragons. Actually, I believe there is a very early concept of lava dragons in here. No lava dragons? What's wrong with the lava dragons? His appearance. The appearance are a bit buggy, I grant.
You take credit for this one.
There is a very early versions of the lava dragons actually in at the moment. These aren't finished, these aren't finalised. This is simply an example. We were just seeing what was possible with some of the things we'd done recently. I'm trying to find, here we go, here's an early version of a lava dragon. As you'll notice, it's got moving skin. It's basically the fire cape texture coloured red, or we can make it a bit more lava, I guess. If you like this, let us know. If you don't like it, we'll change it. But this is merely a concept. We were just seeing what was possible with textures that we have existing and having them recolorable and put on NPCs, I guess. Like I said, this isn't final by any means. This is probably one of the first things I started which didn't finish because I decided other things were more important. But yeah, that's lava dragons. Well, not lava dragons, but that's what we've got so far with the wilderness update. We're obviously going to continue developing it over the current week or the coming weeks, and we shall look to get it out hopefully as soon as we can.
Yes, as soon as we can, definitely.
I don't know what the what proposed date is, but
as we get closer to the time, we'll obviously let you get a bit more accurate.
They like it.
people actually quite like it. Actually,
Oh, we're in luck.
Yeah, that's
They also like lizard men.
Yeah.
well, you're in a minority then, aren't you, John?
No, I'm right. The whole world is just wrong.
If people like it, I can look to adjust the colour so it looks a bit more lava-y, and then adjust the dragon's skin colour to look like a proper lava dragon. I was hoping to get some form of particles, fake particles of course, on it to make it look like it was flowing and dripping, but again, that's a lot of work and we don't have the talent really. None of us are really graphics artists, so we're trying. But other than that, that's the Wilderness Rejuvenation project so far. We'll probably have more updates for you as we have more updates ourselves. But so I guess we'll hop back to the sofa cam. We'll mute the microphone first, we don't deafen people as we do it. I'm back.
And here's your feet.
Okay, so
I've been told John's collected questions for me, yeah.
I was going to say that.
Oh no, but it was Martin's muted, no one knew about it.
Okay, we've collected a few questions from the stuff you've just seen. The first one was, can you get multiple ecumenical keys? I'm hoping I said that right.
You did. We can certainly prevent that, since I can see that being a concern. Mind you, you do have to kill quite a lot of creatures out here before you're likely to get one. But yeah, we appreciate you don't want to go stockpiling huge numbers of the things.
Okay, the next, are the bosses mechanics final? No.
In fact, have they got any yet?
No.
Right, so there aren't any.
The bosses you see so far, which I think the only boss you're going to see is Callisto the Giant Bear, has no mechanics at the moment. It attacks you normally with melee and dies normally. I haven't had a chance really to give it anything else because I've been too busy fondling with what it looks like. So
We will make them very difficult, don't worry. Next, do you get XP at the Fountain of Rune?
You do not, and if you're casting a spell like Superheat, then you don't get the smithing XP either.
Okay, moving on. Toggle KDR, we've just kind of covered that one already.
yep, I shall put a toggle on it for you.
And clue scroll locations, will they be changed?
If we've gone and, for example, stuck a Fountain of Rune right on a place where you need to dig, then yes. If, on the other hand, we've simply made a place a little bit more dangerous, then we'll, by putting a monster there, for example, we'll try to make sure you can still complete the clue scroll reasonably. And we'll move anywhere it's not going to be feasible to do it because of all the monsters there.
Okay, that's all of them, so I'm going to go away now, and Mod Matt K can come back and talk to you.
As Matt gets all the yawns out of his system.
Yeah. Hello. Questions? We have questions here.
Yeah.
Questions.
Okay. So, have we done any work on the high-level thieving chests? A question from AJKF. We haven't yet.
I looked at doing that next, but then I thought the bosses would be a bit more interesting, so I went for bosses first.
They certainly are a bit more interesting, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Fixed item switching is a question coming in from somebody whose name's disappeared off.
JF.
Yeah. We had an update going today about it, didn't we? Which could well have made it better. Although some of you don't think it did, please get your feedback to us, and we will see what's going on with that.
In particular, it would be quite helpful if you could keep posting us links to videos of you guys trying to switch, so we can see what it is you're doing that doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of people out there say it's helped, and a lot of people out there say it's made it worse. And one guy tweeted me to say, when's the update coming out? It hasn't changed. So go figure.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, no, video is really useful to us. It makes us actually see what you're doing, which is great.
Thanks.
I'm an old fart.
That's nice.
It's not wrong, to be fair.
Better than the newer sort.
Yes.
So, Games the Mage wants to know, are we going to update the farming skill to have new herbs or allotments or trees? Now, John and I, sadly John's not on the sofa anymore, but we had a good long chat about adding a new kind of patch where you would grow grapes. Grapes became a lot more common in other RuneScape after they were added to the drop tables of things like guards and things like that. In fact, I kept seeing it on the floor because it was so plentiful. But Old School RuneScape doesn't have many of those coming into the game, since they're just item spawns and possibly a shop here or there. So it was suggested as a high-level farming expansion to add a few more features above the existing levels. We could add grapevine patches where you'd be able to grow your own. Pretty sure there's graphics we can use. You have to help Bernald in the Garden of Tranquility quest to grow some grapes. And although they're not the normal kind of grape there, we can probably adapt that model easily enough and let you have a grape patch that will work a bit maybe like a bush patch does. Something to expand farming a little.
Snabernst has asked whether we think legacy mode will kill Old School RuneScape. We don't. Effectively, there was a bit of talk when we first mentioned it a couple of weeks back. The conversation's practically died. I mean, now our opinion is that you guys like Old School for what it is. It's not just about the combat. Even though a lot of you came purely for the combat, you're staying for so much more. And I think we're in a strong place. We've got a nice, strong player base, and we'll continue going. I don't see that it's going to have any lasting impact at all on Old School and on you guys, certainly.
Also, if you consider everybody who's ever posted saying, "Oh my God, it's going to kill Oldscape. I don't want it to kill Oldscape," there were people who are staying, and there's a lot of them.
Yes.
So we're looking pretty peachy.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. What else we got?
Someone just said, will Dark Fishing Gate be tradable? Yes, it will. So if you want to stockpile up on it and then sell it off to somebody, go ahead.
Somebody wants Tormented Demons added, which I think we've spoken about before as being...
Oh, we like Tormented Demons.
Yes, Tormented Demons are good.
They drop Dragon Claws, you know.
Someone did actually propose to me a way of making Tormented Demons. I can't remember the base model they suggested and then put something on top of it. If you're watching and you know who you are, please resuggest it again, because I will try and look to do that, actually. It did look pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We'd like
Or
that.
the concept sounded pretty awesome, so I'd like to have a go.
Yes, yeah.
Tormented Demons do look graphically awesome, so...
I mean, the one thing we don't want to do is put Dragon Claws in on the back of Tormented Demons. I don't think you guys want that, more importantly, so that wouldn't come as a package with them, which, should we ever poll it, I think it's something we've got to make explicitly clear.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people will see Tormented Demons, Dragon Claws, no. So we need to be careful about how we word that one, I think.
Had some player tweet me saying, can we find some way of doing Dragon Claws that would make them more acceptable for people who don't want Dragon Claws? And the only answer really would be if they're cosmetic, or if they're just like rune claws, only painted red, and they have no better stats and no special.
I can think of one other example as well. It's the proposed alternative to Bounty Hunter.
Like dragon claws.
Yes, where it wouldn't matter where they were.
That's true.
There. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or when you kill a dragon, you could just get some claws occasionally and grind them up and eat them.
Well, somebody just mentioned make tormented demons the 90+ Slayer monster.
That would be lovely. I mean, that would be a really good idea.
If we can pull off a model that looks good,
Yeah,
then I'm totally up for doing the AI.
The problem isn't making it the level 90 Slayer monster. The problem is making it in the first place.
Yes,
So once we get around that barrier, then yeah, by all means.
It's a fun thing to investigate that well.
Like I mentioned earlier, actually, we found the summoning creatures in the repository as well, so we can use some of the existing summoning creatures as Slayer monsters. I think John proposed the Smoke Devil as an upgrade to the Dust Devil. But again, that's for something to look at a later date. But we do have plenty of other existing models we can use, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to see a lot of the old models back as well. So
That's cool. You guys ever going to repoll the God Wars pets?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we probably
that's-
should at some point.
at some point, they got a lot of love. A lot of people were concerned by them. Pardon? With Dagonov King pets. I know a lot of people were concerned by them. They said they didn't want the banks to be full with them. I think the idea of ultra super rare was lost on those people. Also, some people were concerned that they'd replace other drops, such as if you got an egg for a Zami pet. Could that have been a hilt? No, you would have got the hilt and the Zami egg at the same time. And some people just didn't want them to be shouting babyish stuff, which I guess is understandable, which we can remove easily. But I think if we address those concerns, people might be a bit more receptive to the idea. But yeah, later date, I guess.
I think somebody asked me this question yesterday as well, and I didn't answer it because I felt a bit guilty. And they said, you didn't tell me your favourite beer, so I can't send you a crate.
Oh,
That would be dangerous, so I don't want that to happen. Yes, anyway. To everybody, I think.
There was one topic that I wanted to bring up that's currently in the poll at the moment. One of the questions you get to vote on in poll 16, currently running, is about the God Swords. At the moment, their accurate stance is Crush, and their aggressive stance is Slash. Now, the players pointed out that since the God Sword has a very big accuracy bonus for Slash attacks, and not for Crush attacks, that means that its aggressive stance is therefore more accurate in total than its accurate stance. This is true. It is inconsistent that the weapons have a better accuracy bonus if you're in their aggressive stance than in their accurate stance. We didn't offer that in the past because there was firstly a little concern that maybe that would make them too accurate. Now, in practice, it wouldn't make a huge amount of difference. The stance affects the combat multipliers you've got that lead to your overall accuracy and your overall max hit, but it's not a very big difference. So it probably wouldn't be too OP, and I think you'd be safe to vote yes to it if you wanted the weapon's most accurate stance to be the accurate one. Anyway, so do bear that in mind when you're voting in poll 16, which will be open for a few more days yet.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned Raj for JMod. That would be a challenge, wouldn't it?
that would be hilarious.
entertaining.
I am an avid viewer. I do sometimes go out of my way to tune in.
Yes,
So.
yes, he's entertaining. Yeah. So anyway, the other question that was asked was, "Are we doing anything special for our first anniversary?" And the answer is yes. Very special indeed. And we're not going to tell you what it is because we don't get the opportunity very often to surprise you with stuff. I think we did a bit with the Valentine's update today, which was a little bit of fun. Next week, obviously, is our first birthday on the Saturday, so next week's update may well have something in for you. So
Yes, that super secret project I told you I was working on may suddenly come to light very soon.
Send us cake.
Yes, cake. Yes. Yes, hopefully we will have a special birthday cake for next week's stream. We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Schmo TS22 wants us to have a toggle on Ava's accumulator to stop it picking up junk stuff. That's already being polled. Go vote.
Yes, indeed.
I keep seeing this come up actually. Somebody said why you avoided the question of bank tabs, so I think we might as well address that one quickly.
Well, because we answer it every time in the stream, and the answer hasn't changed very much since last time, which is why we haven't spent time talking about it again.
But if you happen to be one of these people which hasn't tuned into previous live streams or every other live
why
stream,
not?
there's that. Bank tabs is a very big job. At the moment, it's not feasibly possible really to do them. Ash does have a very primitive version of them in my test stream right now. It does work slightly, but it's not anywhere near complete. If we poll bank tabs, it's because we can do bank tabs. The fact we're not polling it means we can't do it. So
Yeah.
it's not that we're trying to ignore bank tabs. I would love bank tabs.
So would
but,
I spent quite a bit of my spare time trying to make bank tabs. So far, not got there. When we're sure we can deliver them, then we poll them. Not the other way around, sorry.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
I keep seeing my name pop up in someone's question, which then gets removed, so I've no idea what that person is trying to ask me.
They're probably saying marry you or something. I'm sure it's a very positive thing. Zomor says he would be a good J-mod.
What Zomar showed me at RuneFest suggests otherwise.
Somebody asked about an 07 RuneFest, which would be quite a good RuneFest just for 07. It's. I mean, I personally would love to do 07 real world events. I would love to do one in America
Yep,
for a
we'd like
couple
to
of
go there.
weeks, somewhere warm in the summer maybe. Suggestions on a postcard. Would love to do one.
The
I don't know if it's practical or possible for us to do it, because with the four of us, it wouldn't be very big, and making it work would be an awful lot of time out of all of our days, and that means that will impact directly on the game. If we can get someone to agree to it, maybe, possibly, but
That's just the
Yeah.
Alps. The Alps would be a good place.
Yeah,
There's a-
yeah.
we, have,
all just go to Ibiza.
we do have a lot of players in the mountains on ski slopes.
we need someone with an old school, I suppose, don't we? If we're going to do one, we need to actually do one in an old school.
Oh, I like that idea.
So we have to find an old school
God.
somewhere and do it inside the school.
There must be one around Cambridge somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd
that
be
sounds
amazing. Chicago.
Awful.
Or the Perth.
Chicago, I like Chicago. Let's go
Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. That sounds like a good idea. So Chicago, is there any old schools in Chicago? And we'll have to investigate it. It probably is. Anyway, yes. Perhaps, I don't know. I would love to, but I wouldn't hold your breath for a 07 specific RuneFest.
Moose Torpedo wants to know whether the Imp Champion scroll can be dropped by the imps in the Zamorak Fortress. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Does anyone know?
Yes.
Yes.
John says they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Same likewise for the zombies that I've mapped down. That drops fishing bait. They also drop the zombie champion scroll.
Can we support full screen? Do you want to
No.
answer that one?
We'd like it, but as we've told you in many streams before, to do full screen before required every interface in the whole game to be reviewed and remade to make it handle being a dynamic size. That took half the content team and a lot of graphics artists and then a lot of QA testers to make sure it had been done right. And behind the scenes there was 4 engine developers rewriting the whole engine to support different size screens. So that's not something we're going to be able to offer in the foreseeable. Sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody whose name I just missed just said, "How does the Ring of Wealth work?" I'm about to ruin your day and tell you it doesn't work. So
Could we make it work?
we could make it work, yeah, quite easily. In fact, it does actually work. It's just not worth using.
Yeah.
So all those people that are insistent on, yeah, I'm going to cook a Ring of Wealth. It's going to make my life much easier. I'm going to profit massively off this. Don't waste your time.
Okay, so
I think I checked that in the boss rooms of the God Wars dungeon, the Ring of Wealth has absolutely no benefit whatsoever.
So change that Ring of Wealth for
Anything.
Yeah, anything else. A Zerka
Yeah.
ring, there you go.
Yeah.
Imbue it.
A
Right.
useful ring.
So an interesting piece of homework then for these guys is to come up with some ideas of how to make the Ring of Wealth useful.
I think their solution would be the same bug that we had when we launched it originally.
Well, that made it beneficial. Also,
is beneficial.
I'm not sure I want to have a Ring of Wealth that goes glingle, glingle, glingle every time I kill a cave horror. Even then, it then drops 1 guam on my foot. What's with that?
Yes, yeah, indeed.
Now, Jedi had a question about the dragon pickaxe.
Yeah, just had to point that out.
Yeah. I've started working on that yesterday. Nothing worth showing for the moment. But the thing about the dragon pickaxe is that it has to be tied into all the places where you can use a pickaxe in-game. Now you might just say, why don't you put it in the central pickaxe checker and then all the rocks in the game can just use it. Trouble is, the central pickaxe checker wasn't written until 2008. I know this because I wrote it in the first place for the other RuneScape when I was doing the item lending system and had to make the lent rune pickaxe work. So I've got to actually go to every single rock in the whole game and update them to handle the dragon pickaxe. And since I'm doing that, I may as well, make them have a nice centralised system so that future pickaxes can be added more quickly. Because, people are bound to ask for a new kind of pickaxe one day. Maybe those people asking for stealing creation, for example. So it's a big job. I'm going to be working on it later today and tomorrow to make the pickaxe work as a pickaxe. and then we can worry about its graphics another day.
Cool. Now, somebody was asking about the strawberries and are they going to be around after Valentine's Day? The chocolate strawberries you get out of the chocolate strawberry box, they'll disappear in a week's time. And we had chocolate strawberries because somebody asked me, 2006 it would have been, so that's what, years and years ago.
We've finally delivered on that content.
Yeah, oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? You know, they said, oh, I always like chocolate strawberries, can I have some chocolate strawberries in RuneScape? And I was like, I'll see what I can do. And, 7, 8, whatever years later, chocolate strawberries are finally in game.
And they're probably not around to appreciate them anymore.
Well, no, they still play, so that's
still
quite
play,
nice.
there you
Happy
go.
Valentine's Day to them.
But they play RS3.
No one's perfect.
Yeah.
You should
It's
talk
not
them out of that one.
Yeah, well, I only put them in to bring them across to Old School.
There you go. Retention right there.
Latvian PK wants to know about the ZMI altar. Now, we've said before we could, but there's a lot of people who don't want it, few people do want it, we could go either way. Certainly if we were doing a skillet poll, which I think we should, it would be a reasonable thing to put on it, because it wouldn't be a huge amount of work to integrate it into the game, but it's not particularly clear that that's something people really want. So let us know your feelings if you have strong views either way. Spotted to process, can we have item lending? I do not like item lending. It just leads to people, getting an item and then renting it out indefinitely rather than selling it on. That's not a great thing for the market, perhaps. I mean, buy to let is a little detrimental to property prices around these parts. Never mind what it would do to RuneScape. And it's also quite a lot of work, both for us and for the engine team. Mod Chris E created quite a few. I think that's his name. Created quite a few engine commands for item lending when we first made it in 2008. We'd have to get all that made again, and then it still took me like 3 weeks, pretty hard work, and not doing anything else to implement the content side of it last time. So maybe not item lending, sorry.
Just seen a lot of people say give a shout out to No One's Perfect, and I've always got to give a shout out for Chris. So there you go.
It's not the guy who wrote Nomad, it's another one.
No, actually, No One's Perfect is in the player.
Oh, sorry. Misheard. Thought you said
Chris
Nomad.
Archie, that is.
Thought you said Nomad.
No, he always gets a shout out from me.
So what else we got?
Allow other players to access your bank.
No.
I think that's that's probably not a good idea.
No.
We'll gloss over that one.
Put things in your bank, maybe.
Yeah, if other players want to put things in your bank, I don't think anybody would object to that.
Mind you,
But,
you'd fill it out with rubbish, wouldn't you? You'd go in there and you'd drop a...
Full of
ball
red
and,
satchels, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
where are they from?
Tower of Life. You kill the creatures in the basement, and you've got a chance of getting a satchel in a
Is
different
that
colour.
the really ridiculous one with that strange frog eel thing? And
Yes. The Unicow, the Frog Eel.
Who wrote that quest?
Mod Tim, creator of Soul's Bane and Barbarian Assault. I think he liked strange monsters.
Yeah,
I was gonna say something
He wrote
there.
Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. And
There's no strange monsters in
Bounty
there.
Hunter's right there. Now we've mentioned it, we're supposed to be got a touch on it.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
As always, as routine, I love Bounty Hunter. I would want to do Bounty Hunter. We plan to do Bounty Hunter in some aspect at some point. The reason you don't see it at the moment is because A, we're busy with something else, we've promised something else, or we haven't thought of a good way of doing it yet. Such as originally Bounty Hunter took up like 4 map squares in the wilderness. We don't want to do that, especially since we're giving you a reworked version of the wilderness now. It would be a stupid idea to give you a lovely new wilderness and then dump this in the centre of it, taking up all that space.
Yeah.
So Bounty Hunter is definitely a yes for me at least. So we're gonna work around that one at a later date. So it's best just keep your eyes peeled.
And also, for all those people who asked for Clan Wars, we're not going to map its arena in the wilderness either. We're going to put it somewhere else. There's no need for it to be in the wilderness.
Yep.
There's an interesting question which came up, is did any of you not play RuneScape before joining Jagex? And I think for all 4 of us, that's a no. I think we all played before we joined,
I
didn't
started
we?
in 2005. I joined 2 weeks after I turned 18 in 2010. So
I don't remember the exact date I started, but Jagex's records say it was before the 27th of February 2002, and I joined Jagex in the summer of 2004 when I graduated. I may admit I graduated knowing more about RuneScape than I did about my degree, but it stood my career in fairly good stead. Sorry, Cambridge.
I think most people who join Jagex in some way or another know more about RuneScape or have committed more time to RuneScape than their degree. I think that's probably what makes us.
Yes, yeah.
So
That's true. That's true. There we go. So, yeah, that was our best question of the night, that was.
a lot of people saying yes to Clan Wars. Nice.
Yeah, saw one person saying no to Clan Wars. I think you might be on your own there, but We don't have to do all the free-for-all arenas if you're worried that would devalue the wilderness. We'd pull them separately.
Someone talk grimy herbs, please. I think they're talking about having a herb name appended to the name of the herb, as opposed to it just being called herb or unit or unidentified, whatever it's called. This is something that we did originally when we launched Oldscape, and then we found ourselves reversing it.
Well, the reason it was done on the launch of Oldscape is that somebody who didn't remember the history quite right thought it had been changed as a bug fix for exploits rather than changed as part of the real-world trading blocking that was coming later in the year. So it was changed at the launch of Oldscape, and it shouldn't have been. So we put it back, and then we offered it via a poll, and it didn't pass because at the time people seemed to prefer them to stay unidentified. Now maybe that's changed. If it has, there's nothing stopping us from polling it again other than how you guys would feel on the matter.
Well, I think we've come to the end.
We have indeed.
Well, thank you everybody for coming and listening to us. If you've got more questions, then you can always tweet us on our Twitter accounts. Mine's at JagXMattK, at JagXReach, at JagXAsh, and at JagXJohnC sitting over there. You should all know that by now, and you should all be following us.
If you're not, I do leak a lot of content, so
Yes.
if you want sneak peeks of things deeper in the past or just generally horrific things I do during the day.
And also, Dan wants to be second in the high scores of how many people follow the JagX Twitter accounts. He's
I
currently
believe
third.
I'm third at the
How many
moment.
more do you need?
About 600 or something.
Yeah, so we need to get
At least 600 more followers, and there's more than 600 people viewing this now. So if you're not following me, at JagXReach, all one word, follow me, and I will tweet many hilarious things.
Now, if we can get all four of us as the top four in the JagX high scores for Twitter followers, that'd be pretty awesome. Anyway, so thank you all for coming. We will see you next streams. We're doing one Monday actually to talk about the player design content competition, which we're going to be launching on Monday. So I'll be doing one Monday. We've got another stream on Wednesday as well, and then on Thursday next week, you should all know a bit more about our first birthday, and we will have a little bit of a party going on there as well.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, it's going to
You
be good.
should look forward to it. It's a fun project.
And we'll be seeing you then. Have fun. Enjoy your chocolate strawberries, which have
Yes.
chocolate on the bottom.